I strongly condemn domestic violence. What we are witnessing in Nyabohanse, this is something that has been happening for a long time. It is only that when its barrack exposed these, then we are now witnessing a lot of it happening. Some people are even coming on camera submitting themselves that have done these to my wife, and that is Uncle Ogutu. And today's discussion, I'm going to discuss about two individuals, two personalities. That is Uncle Ogutu on one side. The other side, I'm going to continue exposing David Jr. on the other side. Yesterday's part one video, I came on camera. I spoke about what David Jr. was doing to Dancing Grandma, because this is just basically activation of donations. And when some allegations were speculated online that its barrack was going to be arrested because of invasion of privacy invasion, I came strongly opposing that. And I say this: if there is somebody who is supposed to be arrested because of privacy invasion, is David Jr. himself, because we have seen him. History tells us this individual has been there. Even when Dancing Grandma wakes up, David Jr. is there knocking the door. He has no any other business. But let me congratulate you, because yesterday you came on camera and say that you are not going to do videos about Dancing Grandma again. That is what should be done. And I believe you watched my video when I condemned that, and you said it. You are not going to engage yourself with a Nyamwini telenovela, and that is something very good. Let those people live their own life. Yeah, let us not use people, or we actually go against what we call the privacy invasion of different people, then in the name of making money. Yeah? And the family is not gaining that much amount of money as compared to what you get, because you earned millions of shillings through them. But what are they getting? Almost nothing. Yeah. Leaving that aside, yesterday I wasn't able to do any video because yesterday I got a serious accident. Yeah. I was riding a motorcycle. I went to take some fertilizer from a nearby town called Kioma. So I reached a place where a dog just came in front of me from nowhere, and I had to, I don't know, I used the word smash, or I just hit it with the motorcycle. Then I fell down on the other side. Then the motorcycle fell on the other side. The dog felt behind us. I don't know even how it fell behind us. Then I sustained serious injuries, but there are some injuries that are visible, like this one. You people can see these are visible injury. This other one is just a visible injury. I knocked my leg on the tarmac road, so that means I'm in the house. I'll be now doing my videos from the house. Maybe let me see the next 2 to 3 days how these injuries will be proceeding, because I immediately rushed to the nearby clinic where I received first aid. Then I proceeded going for a proper medication in an hospital, where I was even given some medicine that I'm under medication right now. So that is what I can just say. But reaction has to continue. So for those who want to watch what happened, I'll be posting that video today in my other YouTube channel, that is Vibe with Lumumba. Let us go there and subscribe to Vibe with Lumumba. Let us support that YouTube channel. I promised us that that channel will be very active, especially now that I want to start building. It will be very busy, that YouTube channel. Like yesterday I posted in the morning, I've posted in the evening. I'll show us how I fell down. Tomorrow I still have another video that I'm supposed to post. So that tells us every channel has to go. Content creation has to proceed. And let me back to the normal business reaction video. And let me slow down, because this is where things become very serious. When we speak about domestic violence, we are no longer talking about content. We are no longer talking about culture. One thing that I came to realize, that for those who believe in something that we call culture, culture is something that is outdated. There are some culture and traditions. The culture about when I cough, a woman has to come running. When I call you that you lady come here, you have to come and respect me. That is what culture says. Culture goes ahead and says that a man is the head of the family. When anything lacks in that family, a man is supposed to be asked. In Kenya, a lot of individuals have not married because they fear responsibility. Yeah, when you see Maxwell Lumumba here does not even date a girlfriend, just know things are not very easy, because we fear responsibilities. Because here there is nothing like cost sharing. When you get this lady already, all our burdens are onto you. So when you get these, everybody is now, Max is the one who is supposed to do this. We are even afraid of what we call marrying, and we are also afraid when it comes to dating. So when you see village boys are searching for the people from the West, when you see them, they want wazungu, just understand them, yeah? But that is not the way to go. And I strongly condemn that. So when it comes to culture, let us not use culture. The art of beating wives should not be witnessed in this century that we are in. So I'm going to talk about allegations of domestic violence. Yesterday, we saw a claim and concern raised about Uncle Ogutu beating the woman he has been presented with, because Uncle Ogutu never went for hunting so that to get that wife. That wife was presented to him. That wife has been shown to the camera not once, severally. Even there is a time where I condemned it, then I said, if you want to help Uncle Ogutu, this is your own uncle, why can't you even take a piece of land, your own piece of land, build him a very good home? Yeah. Now what we are now witnessing is now brother beating wife, the brother to that brother beating another wife. So this is what, I don't know if this is something that has been instincted to somebody's brain, that let us do these. So in a video that we saw, Lady J with Uncle Ogutu, where Uncle Ogutu came and told Lady J that I have a problem about my wife. They spoke in Swahili, and this tells us that Uncle Ogutu has been beating the wife. There is also an allegation. I've not heard people talking about it. And there is a time when I did a video with Gintu, we brought it. It was a major concern about the children are not safe, especially the children that are with Uncle Ogutu in that environment. And when children are involved, that stops being entertainment completely. This becomes protection issues. The children are being alleged being beaten, and that's the reality. Sometimes when, let's say you sit in Gintu's fish pond, you can hear some noise from the other side that, yeah, beatings, terror beatings with canes. That is not. There is the current world. We are not supposed even to raise hand on women, not raising hand on children. Child abuse has been there. This is something that is it is actually something that is old-fashioned. Yeah, beating children is old-fashioned. Beating women is an old-fashioned. Yeah, let me talk about a pattern and history, and let us connect what we already been told publicly. Because somebody is calling me here. Sorry for that, because that is a phone that I couldn't avoid because I'm using the same phone. Initially I used to be having another phone that I used to receive calls. This other phone was basically for content creation, but on 22nd, the way I promised, I'll be buying another phone so that I'll be supporting my content. I'll be doing this, yeah. Once I get my pay from the YouTube, I do that, yeah. That being that, I was talking about pattern and history. This is not speculations. These are things that were previously stated on camera. Marwa himself came on camera. The same platform introduced Uncle Ogu to us, a man with a troubled past, a man described as a drunkard, a man who, according to early statements, had once been charged in a serious criminal case and spent years in prison. Those were not my words. Those were already put in public domain. And let me talk about the current situation, or the situation that followed. A woman, a poor girl, is presented to him. Yeah. Even before that, let me say this. The same individual being presented as husband, being placed in the position of authority in a home, living with a young woman, 2 small children, and at the same time, allegations of violence begin to surface. The core question is, if there were already known concerns about that man's past, why would anyone participate in placing a young, vulnerable woman and 2 children in that environment? This is not a small question. This is a serious ethical question that Marwa himself has to answer. And let me talk about the responsibility, and carefully worded. And I have to be fair enough. I am not saying that anyone committed a crime. I'm not passing judgment in a court of law, but I'm saying this. When you actively participate in bringing 2 parties together, this is Marwa and Uncle Ogutu, to you participated there. Yeah? When your platform when you presented it as something positive to the world, you cannot completely separate yourself from the outcome. And let me talk about accountability question, because if something goes wrong, if harm is happening, if these allegations are even partially true, then we must ask, who is accountable for putting the situation together? Let everybody go for hunting by themselves. Let everybody look for women. If even for us, sometimes we go and seduce, we be rejected. That is the reality of how things occur. But let me say, these are not legally, but morality. Child safety, which is the strongest point. And let me say this clearly, without fear. When children are involved, there is zero tolerance. Not maybe, not we will see, not it is culture. There is no culture the way I was talking about culture about women doing. There was a culture about children being beaten. But these are not your children. How can you just pull a kid with one hand, then you slap the buttocks? That is not culture. Even I came on camera strongly opposing the act that David Jr. and Marwa themselves did to their own father. Let me tell you one thing, because I saw somebody bashing me that this is not the father to I am Marwa. But let me say this. Even for us, Christian, we call God our father. So if Marwa himself calls Mr. Ondari my father, that is his father. Let us not bring those other things and then we bring it there. Let it. I'll be saying the way it is. If you call this person your father, even for me, I'll be saying that this is your father. And that is what I'm used to honor. So, when David Jr. was busy firing the top, Marwa was busy firing the bottom, catching leg down. The other one punching the head. And somebody came on camera, I know haters are there, said that this is a form of restraining. Let me tell you this. And this is not even psychology. This is what we can see. When you restrain somebody, what is the next move? Take that person to the authority with alternative. Take that person, tie ropes, then take another action. But when you bring somebody down, somebody who is not fighting you, because what we see basically there, even Congress mom was there. Congress mom was like trying to prevent what the sons were doing to Mr. Ondari. Congress mom was there bashing them. Leave my husband alone. But they were busy, one with a leg, another one punching the head. That is not something that should be acceptable. Fighting is an old fashion. Involve the authorities. And even I came on camera, I said, you will arrest this man, but you people will be taking this man nowhere. And that is what happened. And let me tell this to David Jr. I've seen even some of the reactors acknowledging you and clapping for you. The same, and me, I'm not going to clap for you because after this content, I also have another content of yours. Let me tell you this. The same effort that you are using to take people's wives in form of there being, what is being witnessed in their home is something like domestic violence. Use the same energy. Take your mother out of that house, rent for her, because that is basically what you have been doing. Telling us that I've rescued this woman because of DV. Take your mother, rent for her. Then I'll clap for you and tell you that, Junior, you have done something marvelous. But before that, if your mom still lives with your dad in the same house, I won't even be clapping to you. The same thing you are doing to people's wives, the same thing that you're supposed to do to your own parent, because domestic violence is something that we are not supposed to talk. Because you came on camera and told the world that even if I'll be unalived because of condemning domestic violence, I'm ready for that. Make it. Somebody is still calling me here. Make it practically, not about verbal, not about anything. And let me say this about content versus reality, because here is where the line has to be drawn. Because what we are seeing looks like a story, a series, a narrative being built. But behind that narrative are real human beings. A young woman, 2 children, a household, and let me say this. Let me make my position very clear. If these allegations, who is this calling me? I have to hang up. This calling me. If these allegations are true, then this is not culture, this is not tradition, this is not acceptable. And if there is even possibility that harm is happening, then the focus must shift immediately from content to protection, from views to responsibility, from storytelling to truth. Because no narrative, no matter how powerful, is worth the safety of a woman, the safety of 2 children. And leaving that aside, I'm going now to speak about David Jr. himself. When it comes to David Jr., apart from me saying that fix your family issue, stop bothering about other people's family, I want us to go even deeper, not just to react, but to understand. Because what I'm seeing right now, it is not just content, it is not just a story. It is a situation that involves people, families, donors, and power. And when all of these things come together, things can become very much complicated. Very complicated. And let me now start by saying this clearly. This conversation is based on what has been shared publicly and what people are raising as concerned. These are not accusations, these are questions, and sometimes questions are more powerful than answers. Let us talk about Mwita Jr. because his situation is now becoming a central point of concern. There was an opportunity from him to have a house. An independent donor came forward. Funds were reportedly made available through another content creator, that is John Tefreshi. And the intentions was very clear. Build a house for Mwita Jr. Give him stability, give him a place to shadow on, give him a place to stand, give him a future. But what happened? The project did not move forward. And that is where the biggest question begins. Because from what is being discussed, there were concerns raised. Concern that building a house within the family compound could lead to future conflict. Now let us pause here because that is very serious point. On one side, you have support. You have donor willing to help. On the other side, you have concern about family dynamic. And this is where things become delicate because sometimes helping one person can affect others. But at the same time, not helping also has consequences. So the decision was made, or at least it is being said, that instead of building the house, Mwita Jr. will be moved to rented accommodation. Now again, let us pause because this changes everything. Instead of long-term stability, you now have temporarily living. You'll never compare about renting somebody a home and building somebody a home. Instead of ownership, you have dependency. And that raises a very important question. Was this the best decision for Mwita Jr.? Now, we have to move further because that is the question that you can answer yourself. For me, I'm here just to expose, nothing else. I'm not here to condemn you. I'm not here to condemn you. You are okay, that one I don't want to tackle. Even for me, if somebody is sent to bring me money, the possibility of me taking that money is almost zero. That one I don't want to condemn it, because if somebody has my number, why should you send money to other individual? That one I don't want to condemn, because I know even for me one day I'll be a culprit of that. And because the story does not end there, the donor funds were reportedly refunded, the project stopped, and when something like that happens, people begin to ask, why? What changed? Could these have been handled differently? And this is where another concern comes in, the issue of control, because the multiple people are willing to help, but only one channel is used. Question arises when other donors, other creators, other well-wishers attempt to assist independently, and that assistance does not move forward. People begin to wonder, is this because the money was channeled through John Tefreshi? That is why that project never worked? Or is this being controlled? And I want me to be very careful here, because this is not about attacking anyone. this is about understanding a system, because when one person becomes the main link between donors and the family, that person naturally gains influence over decisions, directions, access. With this calling me, let me hang up. You hang this call. Yeah, and influence is not always bad, but without transparency, it becomes questionable. Now let us talk about Mwita Jr. himself, because at the center of all these is a young man trying to find his place, trying to find stability, trying to build our life. And from what people are saying, he has not had an easy journey. He has been moving, struggling, trying to fit in, and now when an opportunity comes, it disappears. And the question becomes, what does that do to him emotionally? What does that do to his future? Because stability is not just about a house. It is about identity, about belonging, about knowing. This is my place, and when that is uncertain, everything becomes uncertain. Now, let us go deeper into another concern about David Jr. The idea of shifting focus. Instead of building the house, there are talks about finding him a job through online connection. Now let us pause there, because this is where things become risky. Connecting a young person to a known opportunity online without structure raises serious questions. Who are these people? What are the conditions? What are the terms? Is it safe? Because not every opportunity is a good opportunity, and not every offer, it is a genuine offer. And now let us talk about something emotionally. The way Mwita Jr. is being spoken about, because from what is being observed, there has been criticism, there has been pressure publicly, and this matters a lot, because words shape perception, and perception shape identity. If someone is constantly portrayed in a certain way, that image follows them, and sometimes it stays longer than the truth. Now let us zoom it out, because this is not about Mwita Jr. alone. This is about the bigger system, a system where family are filmed, stories are shared, donations come in, decisions are made publicly. And when all this happens, there must be a balance between help and control, exposure and privacy, support and independency. So let us now ask us a very simple question, a very honest question. When you help someone, do you want them to depend on you forever, or do you want them to stand for their own? Because true help creates independency, not dependency. So when I was talking about dancing grandma, I was basically talking about you build the house that leave that family to be independent, not again being dependent on you. And this is where conversations become real, because if support systems are structured in a way that limit external help, controls access, influence decisions, then people will ask, is this still help, or is this something else again? Now again, let me repeat this clearly. I am not accusing anyone. I'm not judging anyone. I'm saying questions are being raised, concerns are being discussed, and these concerns deserve attention, because at the end of the day, this is about people, real people with relatives, with emotions as you, real futures, and when cameras are off, those lives continue. And let me ask a final question becomes, are we building people or are we building content? Are we empowering people or are we managing the same individuals? Or are we helping people or are we controlling the help? Because the answers to those questions will define everything, not just for Mwita Junior, but everyone involved. And as viewers, as supporters, as a community, we must not just watch, we must think, we must ask, we must reflect, because silence does not solve anything. So I leave you with these. If you were Mwita Junior, what will you want? Stability or control? Opportunity or direction decided for you? Think about that, because sometimes the real story is not what you see, it is what is happening behind the scene. Goodbye for now. Let us meet in the next video. Goodbye. Pray for me. I'm injured.